So you may have just picked up your Nintendo Switch 2, and you might be trying to figure out exactly how to go ahead and set it up. So this is a little bit of a step-by-step guide on exactly how to do that. Number one, when you first boot it up, you want to make sure you pair the Joy-Cons up because you might need them, and you can turn it on by clicking the power button at the top. The first page just tells you the language, so just choose the language that you basically just want. So in this case, we'll click English. If you ever want to go back, you can click on the B button right there and it will take you back here. So I'll tap on English, and then you can choose the region that you're in. In this case, I will be in America, so I will choose the Americas, but you can choose whichever one you want. And then it's going to ask you to basically just agree to their end user agreement. So here, you want to click on Accept, and you want to go and click on Next, which is right here. Now it's going to let you set up your internet connection settings. So now what you want to do is you want to go ahead and basically choose on your internet settings right here. So choose internet settings. It's going to start looking for Wi-Fi networks around you. So now what you want to do is you want to go ahead and click on the Wi-Fi connection that you want. For us, it's right here. And you want to go ahead and basically type in your passcode. So you can connect to really a majority of Wi-Fi connections out there. So connect to the Wi-Fi connection that you want. So then after connecting to it, you should be able to see this type of pop-up basically come up. So now it's basically going to go ahead and connect to your internet connection right there, your Wi-Fi and all that other stuff. So now what you want to do is you want to click on OK, and then it's going to allow you to come into your internet connection right there. So you're almost done. What it's going to do next is it's going to, update the data. So it says you can continue up, you can set up while it's updating the downloads. So click on Next, and now it's going to tell you to choose your time zone. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and choose a specific time zone. It really is up to you. If you're, depending on where you're at, you might be able to choose a different one, but again, choose the one that works out best for you. So this time I will just choose Chicago because that will kind of work. And it says with your Nintendo Switch 2, you can play games wherever you want, however you want. So now you can go and click on Next, and it tells you kind of a little bit of how to put out the deck and all that stuff using the stand, which is great. You can go ahead and basically go through and detach and attach the Joy-Cons. So now it's actually going to make us do it. So to do that, you want to find that little unpair button, which is on the side right here to the edge of the Joy-Con. You can click on it, and it should allow you to take out your Joy-Con like this, and you can go ahead and basically take it out that way. So you can click it down like this and pull it out this way, and then you can go through and repair it this way once it's connected. So it tells us to do it there. And then once you do it on both sides, you should be good to go. So then once you do that, click on A to go next. Now it tells us, do we want to go and connect to a TV, aka our dock? In this case, we are going to click no, but we'll set it up later. So we can click later. And then it tells us we can go and set up our Nintendo Switch via the accessories. So in this case, we can click skip. But if that's something that interests you, you can go and click forward. Let's click on skip. And then you can choose a style, you can change it at any time. In this case, we'll choose this one. In this case, click OK. And then it says it's ready to update the system. So now it's probably going to ask you to just wait for a little bit of time and update your Nintendo Switch. So click on Update, and then it's going to start updating the system. Now Nintendo Switch updates can take a little bit of time, so keep that in mind. It might not be like an instant thing, it might take just a few moments, but they typically are pretty fast. And once it goes ahead and basically reboots, you're basically going to come back into the main display, and then you can basically go through the initial setup. Whenever you go through and update your Nintendo Switch, it's going to be kind of the same process, so just kind of keep that in mind. And it tells you the system update is complete. It was super fast. So now we can click on OK, and then it tells us to basically, if we want to transfer our data from our older Nintendo Switch to the newer one. In this case, I'm not going to do that, but if you did want to do that, you would go ahead and set that information up right here. But in this case, I'm going to click on Don't Transfer, and now we can add a user. So now you can go and bring in your Nintendo Switch account that you kind of had before if you wanted to set it up. So you can sign in to a Nintendo account, which I would highly recommend doing, or you can add without signing in. So in this case, I'm just not going to sign in for the time being, and I'll sign in later to kind of save some time. But then you can go ahead and kind of choose an account right here, type in your name, type in your user ID, whatever you want, and then it'll go and add it to the system. So click on OK. You can add another user if you have family members or whatever, you can add them there, or you can click on skip, and then you can come back and set up parental controls and guardian controls inside of your Nintendo Switch as well. In this case, if you want to set it up, I would highly recommend doing it if you're a parent and you're giving your kid a Nintendo Switch. Otherwise, if it's not that big of a deal, you can click on skip. And then it's going to see and tell you if you have a microSD Express card or an EX card. Those are the only ones that are going to work here. So to play Switch 2 games, you will need those types of SD cards. It even tells you other SD cards will not work. So kind of keep that in mind. That's kind of the big thing to keep in mind here as well. If you need instructions on how to insert it, you can click on how to insert right there. And that will also kind of show you exactly how you can insert it at that point. Otherwise, you can click on skip. And then you're basically good to go. Your setup is now complete. And in order for you to come back home, you can click on the home button right here, and it will go ahead and bring you back into your main display for your Nintendo Switch 2. So that is essentially how you can go ahead and set up your Nintendo Switch 2 as a complete beginner. It's a pretty basic process. As long as you have a Wi-Fi connection, you'll basically be able to set it up. Once you're into your Nintendo Switch, I'll make a separate video on how to kind of use it and everything like that. But a big thing you're going to want to do is you want to make sure that with your Nintendo Switch that you're using, if you did not add an account before, you want to make sure you go through and basically add an account now. You can do that by going inside of your system settings right here. So click into your Switch settings right there. You can scroll down until you find the account management or accounts panel. So there should be a little account panel somewhere. And all you're going to want to do right here under users, click on users, and then you can go and click on add user down here. And then you can sign into your Nintendo Switch or your Nintendo Online account at that point. So you can go through and then you can essentially, kind of modify it that way. And I think that could be another thing you can do and kind of see as well. So this in and of itself is another way for you to go through and essentially add your account. You can also add without signing in if you really want to. But at the core, that's essentially how you do it. And it is actually a really basic process and a really easy thing to do. If you want to go back home, again, you click on home, and then you'll come back home right here. And then if you ever want to go into your Nintendo Switch Online account, let's say after you're done setting it up and you add your account here, you can also click on the Nintendo Online option, which is right here. And that will also allow you to come into your Nintendo Switch Online account after signing in, and you can go in this way. Or you can also link your Nintendo account. Let's say you didn't add a Nintendo account before. You can link your Nintendo account right here by clicking on sign in. You can also use your account that way as well. So you have a couple different ways to do it. But that's essentially how you set up your Nintendo Switch 2, complete from the beginning of the version of software all the way to the end. I'll have a video soon on how to use your Nintendo Switch, and that will also be linked down in the description. So you can go through and you can follow that video along if you enjoy this video. So that pretty much covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that will mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.